The Bold and the Beautiful, a show filled with twists and turns, has once again taken a dark and thrilling turn with the introduction of Luna's devious plan, which unfolds with an intensity that grips the audience from start to finish. In this latest chapter, we see Luna's secretive and calculated movements as she seeks revenge in the most horrific way possible. Luna, who has been harboring an intense grudge against Steffy, is quietly observing her every move, carefully plotting her next steps. In a sinister twist, Luna has purchased a gun to conceal her true intentions and to carry out a plan that is both chilling and terrifying. But she isn't working alone. Sheila, the cunning and manipulative woman, has her own agenda, and though she pretends to be steering Luna away from the deadly path of murder, her true desire is far more sinister. Sheila has her own reasons for wanting Steffy out of the picture, and is secretly encouraging Luna to follow through with her plan. Her motivations are clouded by malice and revenge, and it becomes clear that she has no intention of stopping Luna from committing the crime. Luna's meticulous plan grows ever darker. As Steffy heads to work one fateful day, Luna's already in position, blending into the shadows of the parking garage. She knows the exact moment Steffy will arrive, and she's prepared. Stealthily, Luna approaches Steffy's car, where she swiftly and silently cuts the brake lines. With the deed done, she disappears into the shadows, leaving no trace of her involvement. She's calculated, precise, and the weight of her actions weighs heavy on her heart. She's done what she set out to do. She's ensured that Steffy is now driving a car that will soon be out of control. Steffy, unaware of the danger looming over her, steps into her car, her mind preoccupied with the day ahead. She's on the phone with Finn, speaking to him about the events of the day, her voice light and carefree. The normalcy of the conversation contrasts sharply with the deadly situation she's unknowingly been placed in. As Steffy drives, the car feels off. There's a strange tension in the air, and she can sense something isn't right. Her attempts to brake are futile, and panic sets in as she realizes the horrifying truth: she cannot stop the car. In a frantic voice, Steffy yells into the phone, her words soaked with fear. "Finn, something's wrong. I can't stop the car. I'm in danger." Her voice trembles with terror, and Finn, frantic on the other end of the line, can do nothing but ask for her location. His words are helpless as he directs her to safety, though deep down he knows it may already be too late. He calls for emergency services, but even as he does, he can feel a sense of dread sweeping over him. He knows this is no ordinary crisis. It's a life-or-death moment, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. Steffy's desperation grows. The car careens through the streets, and she struggles to regain control, but nothing can stop the inevitable. The sharp turn ahead proves to be her undoing. Unable to brake or slow down, Steffy's car is flung into the air and crashed violently into a rock wall. The impact is deafening, and in an instant, Steffy's life is snuffed out. She's gone, leaving Finn devastated, with the haunting reality of her death hanging over him. When Finn arrives at the scene, his heart breaks into pieces. The love of his life is gone, and the pain is overwhelming. He can hardly comprehend what he's seeing: Steffy's lifeless body, her car mangled and crushed against the rocks. He falls to his knees, consumed by grief and disbelief. He calls out her name, but there's no response. The police are already on the scene, investigating the wreck, and they quickly confirm the shocking cause of the crash. The brake lines had been deliberately cut. It's a murder, and Finn is left to piece together the fragments of a life now shattered. The investigation begins, but it moves slowly as detectives try to make sense of what happened. Meanwhile, Luna, having carried out her plan, is overcome with a dark satisfaction. She hears the news of Steffy's death and can't help but smile, her twisted joy revealing the depth of her malice. It's what she wanted. Steffy is gone, and Luna's revenge is complete. But the world around her is changing. The police are beginning to piece together the puzzle, and the noose is slowly tightening around Luna's neck. She's feeling the weight of her actions more than ever, but for now, she's content to bask in the aftermath of her carefully orchestrated revenge. Steffy's death sends shockwaves through the entire Forrester family. The loss of such a vibrant and beloved woman is felt by all, and the pain is palpable. The tragedy shakes them to their core, but it also fuels a growing sense of suspicion and distrust. Everyone knows that Steffy's death wasn't an accident, it was murder. And with that knowledge comes a burning desire for justice. As the investigation continues, the Forrester family rallies together, determined to uncover the truth. Finn, devastated as he is, becomes a driving force in the search for answers. His grief is unbearable, but his love for Steffy and his determination to find her killer push him forward. Each new piece of evidence brings them closer to the truth, but it's clear that the path to justice will not be easy. There are dark forces at play, and those who seek to avenge Steffy's death must confront a web of lies, deceit, and danger. Throughout the investigation, Luna remains silent, trying to cover her tracks and stay hidden in the shadows. But with every passing day, the walls begin to close in. Her secret is too big to keep for long, and it's only a matter of time before the truth comes to light. Sheila, too, remains a looming presence, her manipulations creating chaos in the background as she watches everything unfold. The tension builds as the investigation reaches a boiling point. Secrets are revealed, alliances shift, and the path to justice becomes more complicated than anyone could have imagined. The Forrester family will stop at nothing to ensure that Steffy's death is avenged, but the forces working against them are powerful and dangerous. In the end, the question remains, will Luna and Sheila be brought to justice, or will their wickedness go unpunished? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, storm is far from over, and the consequences of Steffy's tragic death will ripple through the lives of everyone involved, changing them forever. The bold and the beautiful never fails to captivate its audience, and the latest twists in the saga surrounding Steffy's shocking death have sent ripples through the Forrester family and their circle of associates. In a plot fueled by revenge, betrayal, and heartbreak, Finn's quest for justice and the manipulations surrounding his grief create an intense and suspenseful story that keeps fans on the edge of their seats. Finn, devastated by the loss of his beloved wife, Steffy, is consumed with anger and disbelief. He vows to find the person responsible for her tragic death, no matter the cost. His pain is unimaginable, but the thought of losing Steffy in such a brutal and inexplicable way is unbearable. However, the police, after investigating the scene of the crash, conclude that Steffy's death was the result of a tragic accident. The evidence is slim, and without any solid proof of foul play, they have no choice but to close the case as an unfortunate, fatal car crash. For Finn, this conclusion only deepens his sense of loss and frustration. He knows in his heart that Steffy's death was not an accident, but the lack of evidence keeps him from proving it. With Steffy gone, Finn's life spirals downward. He's left to raise their son, Hayes, alone, a constant reminder of the family he once had. Finn clings to the only piece of her he has left, this son. As he cradles Hayes, a profound sense of loss overwhelms him. He can't help but feel a deep sense of loneliness and helplessness. His grief is compounded by his inability to bring Steffy back and seek justice for her. But one thing is certain, Finn will never give up on uncovering the truth about Steffy's death. His resolve hardens with each passing day, and he silently vows to find the person responsible, even if he has to do it alone. Enter Sheila. Always one to take advantage of a vulnerable situation, Sheila senses Finn's pain and sees an opportunity to insert herself into his life. She wastes no time in approaching him, offering her support and condolences. Sheila, ever the manipulative force, knows exactly how to play on Finn's emotions. She's aware of his grief, and she uses it to her advantage, inserting herself into his life under the guise of helping him cope. Finn, desperate for comfort and connection, is initially receptive to Sheila's attempts at kindness. He's vulnerable, and Sheila exploits that vulnerability to create a bond with him, knowing full well that her presence will give her the opportunity to manipulate him further. But what Finn doesn't realize is that Sheila has a much darker agenda. She's not simply offering sympathy. she's seeking to gain control over him. Sheila has always had a twisted obsession with her son, Finn, and the loss of Steffy presents the perfect opportunity for her to swoop in and make herself indispensable to him. She knows Finn is grieving, and she believes that, with Steffy out of the picture, she can finally get what she has always wanted: Finn's undivided attention and affection. Sheila's manipulation is subtle at first, but it's only a matter of time before she reveals the true extent of her intentions. Meanwhile, Luna, the woman responsible for Steffy's death, watches from the shadows, feeling a twisted sense of satisfaction. She had succeeded in eliminating Steffy, a thorn in her side for so long, and now she can breathe a sigh of relief. The woman who had been a constant source of frustration and competition is no longer in her way. Luna's sense of accomplishment is palpable, and she takes pleasure in knowing that she has managed to eliminate Steffy from the equation. But there's one thing she didn't count on: Finn's relentless pursuit of justice. Luna believes she's gotten away with murder, but the reality is far from that. Finn is determined to uncover the truth, and Luna's actions will eventually come back to haunt her. The fans of The Bold and the Beautiful have been eagerly anticipating the next steps in this storyline, and the sudden departure of Jacqueline MacInnes Wood, who portrayed Steffy, has only added fuel to the fire. While some viewers speculated that Steffy's exit was temporary, others believed that her death would signal a permanent departure from the show. Jacqueline MacInnes Wood's pregnancy has been widely publicized, and it seems that Steffy's absence is tied to her real-life circumstances. But the question on everyone's mind is, will Steffy truly remain gone? Could this be a clever plot twist to keep her character out of the limelight for a while, only to return later? And if so, how will this affect the ongoing storylines, particularly Finn's quest for justice? The rumors surrounding Steffy's death have sparked a whirlwind of speculation. Could Steffy's death have been faked? Could Finn, in his grief-stricken state, have staged her death in order to protect her from the dangers that lurk around them? The idea of Steffy's disappearance being a ruse has gained traction among fans, with many wondering if Finn, overwhelmed by the threats to Steffy's life, decided to send her away for safety, creating the illusion that she had died. It's a theory that fits with the show's penchant for surprising twists and turns, and it adds a new layer of intrigue to the already complex situation. If Steffy's death was indeed staged, it raises several questions. What will happen when she eventually returns to the world she left behind? How will Finn explain her absence? And what will the consequences be for those who were involved in the deception? The drama that would unfold upon her return would undoubtedly be intense, as Finn would have to grapple with the consequences of lying to everyone, including his family and friends. The truth about Steffy's whereabouts and the reasons behind her disappearance would surely cause a rift in the Forrester family. And the drama surrounding her return would shake the very foundations of their relationships. The question of whether Steffy will truly come back remains unanswered, but the possibility of her return looms large. If Steffy does return, the storyline surrounding her would be a massive turning point for Finn and the Forrester family. It would force them to confront the aftermath of her death reel or fabricate and deal with the emotional fallout. Finn's grief, Sheila's manipulations, and Luna's guilt would all be thrown into disarray if Steffy were to suddenly reappear, alive and well. As the plot thickens, one thing is certain: the story of Steffy's death, or presumed death, is far from over. Whether she returns to claim her place in the Forrester family or whether her death remains a permanent chapter in the book of her life, the repercussions of these events will continue to unfold. The audience can only wait with bated breath, wondering what twists and turns will come next in this thrilling saga. For now, Finn's grief remains raw, Sheila's manipulation continues to grow, and Luna's satisfaction is fleeting. The truth about Steffy's death is still shrouded in mystery, and the tension between those involved is only building. In The Bold and the Beautiful, nothing is ever as it seems, and as the drama escalates, the audience is left wondering just how far each character is willing to go for love, revenge, and justice.